All right, let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahawah, Hashem Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Time to Tighten the Belt More. And pretty much this is, something we have been speaking about, admonishing. You could call it a rebuke, a reproof, and pretty much, I was just, I'm like 48 minutes into the video Elder Pastor did last night concerning a video that I did called Beware, and you brothers heard, what the apostle was bringing out. And pretty much, he said one thing, I forget the time stamp on it, but he spoke about, how the brothers in New York are, pretty much, for lack of better words, locked in, and it's the job of you camp leaders out there, you elders and camp leaders, and the officers underneath them, to make sure that the ship is running tight, because one man can't do it all. This is why you have different offices, different brothers, helping out, carry the burden, carry that load. And to use a term or phrase that the elder Malcolm uses, it's time to lock in, because you still have mold and fungus among the body that needs to be purged out. I'm talking about in Greatmillstone. Those, slackers, those, manginas out there, that have the appearance of a man, have a rod, but they're nothing but Big Shirley in disguise. You guys are going to be moved out of the way, you bitchy attitude individuals, you napkin brothers, you guys that are do this work whenever you feel like it. Those of you guys that don't have the fear of the Lord, or you're gonna learn the fear of the Lord. See what just happened and what's happening, with these individuals that's blatantly disrespecting, the doctrine of the Most High. Like the apostle said, the Lord took that personal, and that's why judgment, moved like that. And this is the reason why a lot of you out there don't fear the Lord, because, like the scriptures say, because judgment isn't. How does it go in the book of Ecclesiastes? Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. But one thing is for sure, that once, the Lord brings that judgment, then Jake wants to get right. Then Jake wants to, lock in, you want to be hard-headed until the Lord brings that judgment. Don't wait till the Lord start bringing judgment for you, to start doing the right thing. Start now, start doing the right thing now, because the Most High is going to remove you, out of the body, especially, like I said, you fungus and mold, napkin brothers and the like, lukewarm, only do this when you feel like it. Those of you that the Most High got to work around your schedule, you're not willing to work around His schedule. Those of you out there that desire families, I just want a family of my own. I never had a family, in the world, so I just want a family, or whatever the case, whatever your mindset or attitude is, the Lord's going to remove you out of that if you can't get out of that mindset, out of that spirit, So it's time right now to tighten the belt all the way, because we're about to enter some serious times. And the brother that sent me that information yesterday, pretty much, he also said that 2024 might be the year that the Most High start really putting these scoffers to death. You know, now I said I didn't rejoice in the fact that this dude was back in the spirit world. You know, pretty much, you know, I mean, I didn't rejoice like as far as, you know, the Lord got you or not like that, but I do rejoice in the fact that the Lord is defending his doctrine, you know, and anyone that comes against it, that's exactly what's going to happen to them, you know, because you got to remember, at the end of the day, there's going to be one way. There's going to be one body, but the one body is of Yahawashi, and that body is the house of David, not the crackpot, you know, Deacon Jessup and his crew, you know, of flunkies. And pretty much, you know, we call the IUIC zombies, but these guys are super zombies. You know, these are the zombies that fly around in capes. You know, those are the super zombies, because them dudes are, they're like a group of ghouls, you know, and goblins, you know, that are pretty much sycophants. You know, whatever this guy, you know, Deacon Dracula says, they just follow right behind it. You know, no questions. You know, if he changes the doctrine tomorrow to back to calling on the name of Yahawashi and saying that there's no virgin birth, and saying that there's no such thing as hell, and saying that the nations can't be saved, guess what? They're going to go right back to what they used to teach. They're going to follow him. You know, the scriptures say they followed the Lamb whithersoever he went. You're supposed to be that way for Yahawashi, not for men. This is why it says, you know, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh arm his flesh. And that's what you guys are doing, you know. And there's a lot of phony, fake, you know, Israelites out there. A lot of mold, a lot of mildew, a lot of fungus, you know, in the body. Even among Greatmillstone. And the Lord is going to get rid of all you dudes out there, man. Because it's time. You know, we're coming closer and closer. You brothers who got your flashlights on, you're seeing everything that's happening, and you're seeing individuals just straight bugging out, straight tripping. You know, and I'm talking about even worse than Deacon Jessup. You know, talking about some pack of Mentos and Barbasol shaving cream are the names of the Lord and Holy Spirit and all that. Man, the Most High is about to start doing damage, you know, and you're going to see, you know, at the end of the day, who the Lord is with and who the Lord is not with, okay? And, excuse me, yeah, these goddamn bugs, no bugs, just some funk we encountered just there. But anyway, you know, the scriptures say that, you know, there's going to come a time where the people are going to know that a prophet has been among them. The prophets are here, you know, and it's going to be evident at the end of the day who the prophets are. You know, we believe through the spirit, you know, of meekness and humility that we are the prophets. And that's not to brag or boast. It's just, you know, because through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, we are doing what the Lord, you know, said we would to do. And we also doing things that pertain to scriptures. We're the only group that claims to have 100% truth. No other group, no other Hebrew Israelite group out there says that. No Christian group out there says that they have 100% truth, you know, because that is a very bold statement. And that very bold statement is taken, you know, to be something of pride and boasting. It's not about pride and boasting. Confidence is not boasting. You know, confidence means that you believe in what you're saying, you know, and you conduct yourself in that manner. Pride is you dead wrong on something and you're still going forward with it. And that's not the case here. And how do we know? Well, you could say that. Anybody could say that. You're right. Anybody could say that. But how do we know that what we're saying is true and 100%? Because everything is playing out right in the face of the world as we're speaking it, because we're saying it as the scriptures say it, you know? Salakia. So that's how you're going to know, you know, a true prophet from the false prophet. You know, it's going to be evident and it's coming out every day, you know. So it's time for you which is, it's been time, but tis the season to lock in. You know, it's the season for you brothers out there, you know, to start tightening that belt all the way to the last notch. And if possible, create another notch to tighten it even more. Because, you know, the ride is about to get real super bumpy. We're in towards the end of October right now. You know, about to enter a real super demonic week, you know, of, you know, this ghoulish activity, you know, one of Satan's favorite days, you know, so-called Halloween, you know. And right after that, we got November and then December. And after that, that's what, 2024. So 2 months and a little more than a week or so, we're going to be in 2024, you know. And I don't know what the 2024 is going to be called, but, you know, it's going to be very interesting because, you know, as each year goes by, it brings on, you know, a level of speed prophecy-wise. You see what happened this year? You know, it was called the hopeful year that all the prophecies of Yahawah Yahawashi are fulfilled, meaning that everything happens according to scriptures and then moves into the last phases, you know, of, you know, this, or the last stage or the last scene in the Most High's movie, you know. And that's what we're waiting for everything to move into the last stage. And what is that last stage? The MO to the TB, which is the micro to the C hip, you know, being pushed and implemented out there. Now, while the world burns and shit is happening, you know, you got all kind of celebrity gossip out there. You got this war, you know, with Israel and Hamas being pushed and shoved down people's throats, you know, when there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that's not being reported on. Because whatever you see on television or news or whatever, you know, media source or outlets they have, that's just what they call a cover story. You know, a cover story is not, you know, the actual story. It's pretty much nothing more than a facade, you know, that's being put up, you know, a mechanism of distraction. And that's pretty much what's happening. We're witnessing a mechanism of distraction, you know, while the real shit is playing out behind the scenes that they're not reporting on. You know, remember, the bread and circuses in Rome were set up to distract the people from the real serious issues. So while they gave them entertainment and fatty foods, the lipo foods, you know, to the people, as long as they were able to be entertained and fed, they were cool. They didn't care about any real serious issues. And those real serious issues are playing out on the planet right now as we speak, you know. And this is how you can discern between a prophet of the Lord and a false prophet, you know. And we're witnessing that right now. So we are the main group, I'll say it that way, one of the only groups that 100%, you know, always speak about the names Yahawah and Yahawashi, push them on a regular. You know, in every lesson, you're going to hear those names more than once. You have other camps out there that believe in the names, but the majority of their talk is Christ and Jesus and, you know, so on and so forth. They're not pushing those names. The Lord Most High, Yahawah, you know, and his son Yahawashi are pushing, you know, the glorification of those names on the planet. And it's going to be known in the world who is the God of the heavens and who is his son and what their names are and what their intentions are. And we are representatives of that on the earth, and we're speaking those things on the earth. And like the apostle said, the Lord took that personal when this individual tried to convert this faithful brother, faithful, on fire, doing videos on a regular, studying all of that. He took very personal that this individual was prideful enough to try to convince this man otherwise of his belief. And the Lord took that very personal and took that individual off the planet. And for that we do rejoice, you know, that the Lord is defending his truth, his name, his doctrine, you know. And you know, and pretty much it's going to be even made more apparent the closer and closer we come to it. Because remember, back in the days, you had scoffers coming out the woodwork all over the place. Now what you have is a bunch of demons bringing out demonization just before the great persecution that's coming for the people of the Most High, the Israelites, especially the prophets, the ones that teach, you know, the 100% truth according to the doctrine of the Most High. That's what they're doing. They're making fake pages, you know, and they're putting the name GMS on it, having individuals coming on brothers' comment boards, you know, writing in the Arabic language, which we never pushed that. You know, the IUIC at one time through the 501c3 were identified as a Muslim group, and vocab is trying to connect us to that Muslim group bullshit. And we don't believe in nothing that them Arabs teach, you know, nothing that those Muslims teach as far as religion is concerned. The only thing they have right is that they come from Abraham, and they do. That was Abraham's firstborn son, whose name was Ishmael, Yashmai Allah. You know, he has heard of the power, and that's about as far as it goes. At the live show in Chicago, the brother we call Pops, you know, he read an excerpt from the Quran, you know, that gives credence to the Israelites. And that's the only reason he read that. And we used to read certain passages that give credence to the Israelites, and that was it, to make a point that even in their book it gives credence to the Israelites. Now when you read the Bible doesn't give any shots or shout outs to the Ishmaelites or to any other nation but the nation of Israel. It says that all those nations are nothing. They're nothing but spittle, or they're worth about the dust of a balance. You know, so the Lord ain't dealing with these nations. He never did, never will. The only thing that's going to happen when Yahawashi comes back and sets the world back into order is the nations are going to come to us to learn of, you know, the ways of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, that is a part of the second covenant. We will be all the nation, all the men of the nation of Israel will be priests and kings. Right? And it says under the new covenant, we will not be teaching each other. No, because all will know the Lord. All the Israelites will know the Lord. Okay? So if we're not going to be teaching each other, who are we going to be teaching? We're going to be teaching, you know, the other nations how to follow our laws, statutes, and commandments. Just like that one priest, Levite priest, went back to Samaria to teach, you know, those heathens how to worship the Lord so that they wouldn't get jacked up. All right? That's what they're going to learn. So in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to be teaching each other, you know, as far as Israelites are concerned. And we're not going to, and if that's the case, under the new covenant, we're not going to be teaching any other Israelites, then how can these individuals say that we are under the new covenant when a part of the new covenant is having the law, statutes, and commandments in our hearts, you know, and not teaching other Israelites? You know, they're them guys that claim that we're still under, or that we're under the new covenant, they're still out there teaching other Israelites, which shows you that they bugged out, you know. And those are those seducing spirits, you know. And there's many ways to pick that argument apart, but we don't really waste our time. We may mention it from time to time just to make a point, you know, of, you know, what the scriptures say about those that give heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And when the scriptures say that their conscience is seared with a hot iron, it means just that. If you ever seen a hot iron, when it touches the flesh, it melts it, you know, and you cannot, you know, undo that. So these individuals that's caught up in that hot iron conscience spirit cannot get out of that. And what makes it so scary is that they really believe in their demented demonic mind that they are teaching the truth. And they're trying to use that wicked, demonic seducing spirit to try to seduce others out of the right way. And I was gonna say unfortunately, but no, not unfortunately, prophecy wise, they're gonna get to some individuals that are not rooted and built up in Yahawashi, Yahawashi, that have been BSing, that are napkin brothers, that are mold and mildew in the body. All of you are gonna be moved out, man. You big, fake ass, Israelite man, here it is, you got muscle on top of muscle, and you act worse than the fucking black woman. You act like you got a big Shirley spirit on you. Getting all emotional with that bitchy ass attitude, throwing peace signs at brothers, and looking away with that stupid bitchy attitude. I don't want motherfuckers like that around me. I don't want no semblance of no motherfucker around me that has a spirit of a fucking bitchy ass woman. I don't want that shit around me. And the Lord is going to remove you out of the body, okay? You big mangina ass devils out there. I don't want you motherfuckers nowhere near me. I don't want to be nowhere near you, or don't want you to be nowhere near me, because when the Lord brings judgment down, I don't want to be around that shit, okay? You guys out there that act like you're men and Israelites, you ain't but a bunch of fucking bitches. The Lord is going to remove you out of the body, okay? The Lord don't play with that. He said, show yourselves men. Don't show yourselves to be no fucking bitch. All right? Acting like a real bitch. Like you bleed once a month. Having more attitude than Eve herself. The Lord's going to get rid of all of you guys, man. All right? And some of you guys think because apostles or elders or camp leader or somebody is cool with you, that it gives you license to be whoever you want to be. Well, guess what? You're going to be out of there. You better take heed to what's going on. You better change your ways. Because if not, you're going to be heading right. Either going to be heading the way that individual from one body went back in the spirit world, or you're going to end up the way of, the ghouls that are calling on the Lord's name by some Gnostic names, or worse, So get your shit together. You camp leaders out there, tighten that belt even more. Ain't none of that. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. You have men around you that's supposed to help you watch. If one man can't catch everything, another man sees something. Collectively, y'all come together, like Voltron, and create that powerhouse in the spirit of Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi to remove all that shit out the way. And trust and believe, once that shit is moved out the way, you're going to find peace, and you're going to see men in the camp have even more respect for you and reverence for you, because they see that the spirit of Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi is with you and dealing with you. And the brothers that really truly have that fear of the Lord, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Like I said, we just came from Chicago. It's about a 2-hour drive from here, and pretty much, you have a lot of older brothers in that camp, that came in, later on. I don't mean this in the wrong way, so please, brothers, don't take it that way, that would be considered to be old wine bottles, right? But these brothers are so fucking humble. They call me elder, and I should be calling them elder, because some of them are much older than me, but they're so fucking humble. But then you got other guys in the other places that might be a little older, but then they try to act like a peer. They have no humility in them, and the humility that they may have or think they have is fake. That eye service shit. Oh, and you ass kissers out there, man. Excuse me. I'm hot in the spirit right now, man. You ass kissers out there. You shy Allah, ass kissers out there that do shit for recognition, the Lord's gonna give it to your ass too. See, these guys think that they're coming up with a new, oh man, I got a new way. I got a new hustle. I got a new dance, mama. You know, I got a new hustle. I'm about to pull the wool over these guys' eyes. You know, come on, man. We done seen it all. We done been through it all. You know, just in different time frame. There's been individuals in this thing that were much more prolific than you dudes that are coming up now. You know, and you ain't bringing out nothing that we haven't seen already. You know, so any of you guys that, if this applies to any of you guys, change your ways, man. You know, be a real brother. You know, humble yourself down, because that pride will get you killed, man. You know, look what happened to that dude from One Body. That pride, he just knew he was going to convince the brother that he was going to convince him to come over to the side of One Body. I'm talking about a pillar in Greatmillstone. I'm not talking about, you know, an individual that just came in last week or a couple of years ago. I'm talking about a solid brother devoted to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, you know, 10 toes down, planted in the faith, you know, and he's trying to convince this man. And I know the brother looked at him like, you know, like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then the very next day, this guy's back in the spirit world. Man, pride is a motherfucker. That's what the Lord said. He giveth grace to the lowly, but he resisteth the proud, you know. And the Lord is not going to give this precious knowledge, you know, to an individual that's like that, you know. And if he do happen to have a good memory and memorize certain stuff, eventually the Lord's going to take away that, you know, which he seems to have, you know, because it don't belong to you. If this truth don't belong to you, if you're a plant that the Lord didn't plant, he's going to remove you out of here, you know. So I suggest you guys out there do some real soul searching. You know, pray to the Lord, do what you got to do to get back in that right spirit, because you see what's happening. You know, you could be like, you know, that happened to that dude, that ain't going to happen to me. Okay, keep up with that attitude, and let's see what happens, you know. So I'm pretty much, that's it. You know, just you camp leaders out there, make sure you tighten that belt even more. And if a guy gets an attitude, if you have problems from a guy, constant problems over and over again, it might be time to either suspend that guy for 6 months, a year, or just get rid of him. You know, but now if the man is a sincere brother and you pick up in the spirit that he's a sincere brother, you know, and he just, you know, he just gets in trouble, they work with the brother. But if you know, if you got a demon in the midst and you spot the demon, get rid of that goddamn demon, man. Get rid of that spot in the feast of the Lord, you know, because you're just asking for more trouble, you know. Or tell him to go teach on his own, you know. Brother, you go, you know, you got the knowledge, go teach on your own, you know. Hey, it's gonna be a harsh reality, you know. It's not gonna be no game plan in the very near future, you know. So as Elder Malcolm says, brothers, lock in. All right, shalom.